You're watching Mondays in Midtown with Mark J. Zinn.
That's your name.
With Logan Howard.
Thanks, Logan. Good cold open. We'll see him in a little bit. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Mondays in Midtown. I'm Mark Zinn. On tonight's show, we'll be featuring an exclusive sit-down with St. Louis Police Chief Dan Isom. We'll also look into those mysterious chalk writings that have been showing up around campus. Mike Roberts and SLU's meteorology department make a wish come true for a local 9-year-old. Logan, you saw him at the cold open. And of course, Lyle's Corner and a whole lot more. But before we get to the police chief, Mondays in Midtown has this news to pass along. We are just learning that Metro's plan to close the Grand Metrolink station, or the Grand Metrolink stop for that matter, is on hold and may be open during parts of the construction. I just got this passed to me here. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Here it is. The Grand Metro station will now remain open, but with restrictions. They would construct a temporary platform on the east side of the property, and they will construct a bus turnaround. They will not allow pedestrian access to the area. All those getting off or on the Grand Metro station would have to come via the Grand bus. So again, we'll be following this story, a very important story. We'll keep you up to date on that. Well, it's crime time, featuring our own Avita Caldwell's exclusive sit-down with St. Louis Police Chief Dan Isom.
Thank you, Mark. I had the opportunity to sit down and speak with Chief Daniel Isom of the St. Louis Police Department. Here's a bit of what we talked about regarding crime in the city and his projected goals for the rest of his term. Chief, thank you for joining us here on Mondays in Midtown. You recently were able to deliver some good news regarding the crime in the city. Would you care to share that with the SLU community?
Yes, crime in the city of St. Louis is down year to date for 2010. This is the 4th year in a row that crime has gone down in the city of St. Louis. And we're very pleased with the numbers that we see this year. In every category, crime is down. Homicides are down this year. Year to date last year, we had 120 homicides at this time. Now we have 104, so that's down 16. In terms of robberies in the city of St. Louis, those numbers are down 24%.
Okay.
And aggravated assaults are also down 24%. Overall, person crime is down 18% in the city of St. Louis, and property crime is down as well. So very encouraging numbers.
That's good news. And regarding the decrease in crime, what are some contributing factors to that? Is there a increase in witnesses to these crimes, or what could you say is the contributing factor to that?
Well, there's a lot of different factors that are associated with crime decreases. Most people would say, and history has dictated, that when the economy is bad, crime goes up.
Right.
And certainly throughout the United States, many cities are bucking that trend, and we're one of them. But I always say that police officers matter, and what we do matters.
True.
And so I do believe a part of the reason why crime is down is because of the work that we're doing in the St. Louis Police Department. Some of the things that we've been committed to in the last 2 years is really being more strategic about how we address the most problematic, the 5 or 10% of the people who commit most of the crime in any community. And so we've attacked that on many different levels. Certainly on the person crime, we focus on the worst of the worst. We do a lot with trend analysis, looking at trends in terms of crimes, but we also track individuals who are committing crimes in those areas. So a lot of has been restructuring our police department, refocusing our efforts, and one of the things that points to the fact that we're doing a better job is our clearance rates, which means the crimes that we actually investigate and we arrest individuals on. Those have consistently been up over the years. And the other thing is we have been very aggressive about reaching out to the community. Our outreach efforts have doubled in the last 2 years, and the reason why we do that is because from a law enforcement standpoint, we cannot do our job without the community. We
That's
need
right.
the eyes and ears of the community to really literally tell us what's going on. And
Right.
so I think that has helped as well, reaching out to the community to help us in this effort to keep people safe.
That's good to know. How do we rank so high on the list as one of the most dangerous cities? I know St. Louis is relatively smaller than some of the other cities on there, such as Detroit and even Los Angeles. So what determines the most dangerous city?
Well, that ranking that comes out each year, which will probably come out in the next week or so, we have always challenged the findings of that.
Okay.
When you look at the UCR statistics, which are collected by the FBI cautions everyone not to compare city to city. So as you said, it's sometimes comparing apples to oranges. The demographics, the characteristics of cities are so different that it's difficult to compare one to the other. So you really can't rank based on UCR statistics. The other thing is that from the standpoint of how cities collect information, there is always a variation on how you collect crime statistics from city to city. So being able to compare cities is not something that's really possible. What I will say though is that crime has gone down
Good.
3 years, 4 years in a row at the end of this year, and that St. Louis is becoming a safer place. I've been an officer for 23 years, and I could point to 10 years ago when things were much worse in terms of violence in the city of St. Louis. So things are getting better, and hopefully that will continue.
Well, that's good. The city of St. Louis recently reported a deficit in city funding. Has that deficit directly affected the police department, and if so, how?
It has, and it's been a challenge for us as a police department to continue to maintain the same service with less resources. But I'm very encouraged because despite all the changes that we've had, officers have continued to work very hard. And that's impressive because it shows their dedication, their pride in what they do, despite very tough times. The city has had a $40 million deficit in revenue, and certainly the police department was hit by that. The first year that I was chief and we had a new budget, which was a 2009 budget, we had to cut 100 officers.
Oh, wow.
That saved the city about $5 million. We also had to restructure our benefits for health care. We reduced benefits. We had a 90-10 plan. We reduced that to an 80-20 plan, and we also increased the deductible for our employees. This fiscal year, we had even more challenges. We had to reduce the budget by $5 million. We cut our overtime budget by $700,000. We did furloughs for civilian employees. There were freezes in the step increases for police officers and a variety of other measures to cut our budget by $5 million, which means that people are working more for less because we don't have the overtime. Officers have to work more, and they have to pay more for their benefits.
Right.
But, I mean, this is a team effort. We are part of the St. Louis government, and we have to do our part during difficult times. But it has been somewhat of a challenge with a reduction in officers, a reduction in overtime,
Right.
less benefits. But as you can see, with the crime continue to go down, that hasn't affected their mission, which I'm very proud of.
Yeah, that's
that.
good to know that so many are still sticking it out despite the job and the less pay that comes along with it now with the deficit of the city funding. So as police chief, what are your projected goals for the city of St. Louis and its crime stance?
Well, one of the things that we do within the police department is review our plans, our strategic plans on a regular basis. We just recently sat down with the commanders of the police department to talk about the direction of the police department for next year, for 2011. And one of the things that we talked about focusing on is really 3 different areas which we've focused on for the last 2 years. One is managing the business of the police department more effectively, making sure you cross your T's and dot your I's, and you're being fiscally responsible. So we talk about those issues. The second one is managing crime, and because that's what people really want us to do. They want us to take the resources and put it into effective and efficient ways of combating crime. And so a couple of things that we're really focusing on next year is our Problem Properties Initiative. When I go out to the community, many people talk about problems in their neighborhood or their blocks that are associated with one or two houses. You know, this is the house where they're selling drugs, or this is the house where they're hanging out. Well, we have a really robust program with that, and we want to step that up. And so the effort is to make sure we engage those people with problem properties to change that behavior so it's better for the block and the neighborhood. And so we've initiated some training in that. We've also done some things to really give us information so we can better manage that process. So hopefully that's going to lead to better neighborhoods and better blocks as we deal with some of these problem properties. The other thing that we're focusing on next year are individuals who are those 5 and 10%ers. We're even focusing on those even more. We have a policy or a procedure in the city of St. Louis that allows us to tell individuals who have committed repeat crimes in certain neighborhoods that you're on probation, that if you're a gang member or you're selling drugs or you are committing violence in a particular neighborhood, we can get a court order that says you're not allowed to be in that area.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
And so we're getting more aggressive about that, applying for these neighborhood orders of protection against gang members, people who are selling drugs, and saying, okay, if you are going to engage in this type of behavior, you're not allowed to be in this neighborhood. So we're getting a lot more aggressive with that. So those are two areas in crime that we're focusing on, in addition to the things that we've done for the last 2 years. And then finally, we are still working on our community outreach effort. We're trying to use social media a little bit more to engage the public. We just started a Twitter account where we're giving messages out about what's going on within the police department. And so those are kind of initiatives where we're reaching out to the community. We just had a partnership with the Consortium on Police Equity. They're going to do some work in the community to get some feedback from the community about how they feel about the services that we're giving. So it's a three-pronged approach that we're focusing on. I think it's going to be successful in 2011.
Sounds like it will be. Before you go, would you mind mentioning some of the programs that citizens can participate in to fight against those 5% that may be causing a lot of the crime? I know there's the Citizen Service Bureau. And what are some other programs the department offers?
Well, the most effective tool is that when you see something suspicious, when you think that something's wrong, usually a person's intuition is right.
True.
Call 911, call the police and say, give us a thorough description of what you think is going on, description of the person, and we'll respond. That's the best tool that law enforcement and the public have. In addition to that, there are some other programs that I think are very good. Neighborhood block watches are very good. When neighborhoods or blocks organize to police their area, that is something that is very successful. So we form block units within the police department, and you can call any district station and they'll help you with the process with Urban League to start a block unit. The third thing that I'll say is that many people who live in the city of St. Louis or work should apply for our Citizens Academy. It's a way that you can really get a full picture of what we do as an agency, what we're capable of doing, but also you could learn how you can help us. And so the Citizens Academy, which you can go online on the police department's website, and you can apply to go to the Citizens Academy. So those are three different areas that I think are very vital to partnering with the community and making our community safer.
Okay, if you want, you can go ahead and shout out the Twitter account to everybody, and even Facebook if you have it.
The Twitter account is SLMPD. So we've got a lock on that. Our website is www.slmpd.org. And visit that website. You can find out about our Twitter account. You can find out all about the police department, the Citizens Academy. It's a wealth of information for citizens who want to partner with the police department to make our community safer.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
And again, that was our Crime Time segment. As many of you may have seen recently on campus, there have been many buildings that have been tagged with inspirational messages written in chalk. The identity of the individual or individuals still remains a mystery, but luckily our Mondays in Midtown producer Aaron Brockschmidt was able to get an exclusive inside interview. Now, for identity purposes, we had to black out the picture and the voice. So again, this is an exclusive. Check it out.
So who exactly are you guys, and what is it that you do?
I can't confirm or deny that there's more than one person involved in these activities, but what I can say is that my overall goal is to inspire others, and I do that in the best way that I know possible. It actually started out when I was sitting in my room thinking about how tough times have been lately. I have a lot of friends and I know a lot of people who have been stressed out about finding a job or studying or making ends meet, paying off their loans. Times are tough right now. And the way that I found that I can help, or try to help that, is by writing inspirational phrases with sidewalk chalk. So I decided to do that one day. I went outside around campus and I wrote inspirational phrases, things that I thought when people saw them, they would smile or laugh or maybe stop for a second, and it'd just make their day a little bit better.
Is this a SLU-only activity, or have you been doing this elsewhere?
I would say that although activities aren't necessarily confined to St. Louis University, it's mostly been a SLU activity. I will say that if you are in the Central West End or beyond, there's a possibility that you may be inspired as well.
Some people who have heard your tale have likened you to sort of SLU's Dark Knight, somebody who goes around fighting against the stressful ties of campus, and that others feel like you're just somebody, a renegade, making trouble for SLU's facility services, making them clean it all up. What do you have to say to those people?
I don't know if you could consider me a Dark Knight. I don't necessarily say that I can save anyone from turmoil or distress. All really I can say is that all I wanted to do was just make people happy and make their lives a little bit brighter, maybe make their day a little bit better. But I can't necessarily say that I would ever think that what I do was harmful to others. I never meant to harm anyone, and I still don't intend to do so. Everything I've written is only inspirational. It's only meant to make people feel good about themselves. Nothing's done maliciously. Nothing's done in a negative way. And if there's anyone who's negatively been affected by this, that was never the intention. I never thought, using a medium such as sidewalk chalk, that it would be necessary to even clean it off, because it wears off with the rain or pretty quickly over time. So, to anyone who's involved with this, anyone who's been negatively affected by this, it was never my intention to do so.
How do you feel about it when people are cleaning off your work on the side of buildings and such?
I can understand that it's necessary to keep a positive image or keep a professional-looking image on campus. So I can understand why it's done. And I'd have to say, as I wouldn't necessarily consider myself an artist, but based on all the work I've done to do this, it is a little bit disappointing to see it being cleaned up, because I'd like other people to be able to be inspired as long as possible. But you have to understand, with a medium such as sidewalk chalk, your work's not going to last very long. And I think that's sometimes the beauty of it. Something that's truly beautiful is experienced in the moment, and it's sometimes short-lived. So be it.
How long have you been doing this, and are you going to continue writing messages into the future?
I've been doing it for a short while, I would have to say. I didn't expect the response. I was surprised to see how many people noticed. In the daily hustle and bustle of life, how many people actually stopped to read the things that were written. But I will say that I have no intention of slowing down or stopping what I'm doing. As long as it helps other people and as long as I continue to get a positive response and hear positive things, I'll continue to do it.
You know that now you're kind of a wanted man by SLU. They're doing an investigation into this. Do you have anything to say to those people?
How fast can you run? Can you catch me in a golf cart?
How long does it usually take you to perform your inspirational writing?
I'd say over the times it's been done, several hours each time. It actually takes a lot more work than you would think to do something like this, and to have as much of an impact as I've had. But when inspiration strikes, sometimes the clock just flies and the time just flies by, and I really don't think about how much time has passed.
Do you consider yourself any kind of an artist?
I wouldn't say I have any artistic ability per se, nor do I try to showcase any of that. I'm just here to convey inspirational ideas and positive feelings. But I would like to say that if what I do in any way inspires any art or positive expression, I'd say that maybe somehow I'm a surrogate artist.
Do you have any special, favorite phrases that you've written?
Some people have noticed I have a tendency to use song lyrics. Some song lyrics are, very inspirational in themselves, and also through song you can draw on deeper memories of the melody and of how it makes you feel overall. I'd have to say, to me, Taylor Swift has been somewhat of an inspiration to me, so I've done a few of those, and I've gotten positive response from that, so I might continue that in the future.
Do you have any message that you would like to send to SLU students or anybody else that you cannot convey in just your small writings?
I'd have to say, don't give up. When things get difficult, work hard. When you feel like you can't make it, work harder and do your best. And the most important thing in life is your friends. So always make sure that you can always understand that you can lean on your friends when you need them. And always make sure that you have a positive support network. And know that there are always people out there who are willing to help you. America.
Thank you.
It's what it's all about.
That was the Chalking Bandit reporting live from SLU. Thank you. Bye.
Interesting stuff. We'll try to get a response from the Department of Public Safety and Security Services for next week's show. But we'll be right back after this message.
Monday, a dreaded day that marks the beginning of another week of routine. The beginning of alarm clocks, meeting times, and homework. Fortunately, there's a whole TV show dedicated to breaking these tedious habits. So relax, breathe in the air around you, and take in a glass of Mondays in Midtown.
And welcome back. Well, dreams come true. Just ask 9-year-old Logan Howard. With the help of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he was able to hang out with some St. Louis meteorologists today, including KSDK's Mike Roberts and SLU meteorologist Tim Eichler. We had a lot of fun in O'Neill Hall as Dr. Tim Eichler was showing Logan some of the different aspects of the meteorology department, including charts and snow and a lot of other things. But we had to know. Why did you want to come to SLU and see Mike Roberts and see all the meteorology stuff?
Because I really like weather and stuff like that.
Yeah? What's your favorite part so far?
Meeting Mike Roberts.
He has good hair, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does have good hair.
Not whatever place.
What's your favorite part about meteorology?
My favorite part is seeing how radar, see which direction the storm moves.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
And you like hurricanes too?
Yeah.
What do you like about hurricanes?
I like how they look and swirl and stuff like that, but I can never see them swirl that much.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're big storms though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be the size of our state sometimes. This whole state behind you there can be engulfed in a hurricane.
Whoa.
Pretty cool stuff.
About that size.
Yeah, probably Earl would be at least this big.
Yeah.
Earl covered a good part of the state. Earl came like this. Came out through southern Missouri, moved northeast, and came just to the south of St. Louis. And you know, Missouri is landlocked, so having hurricanes here is very rare.
Yeah.
And Earl was a tropical storm, which is still an extremely rare thing for us. So in south of St. Louis, produced all this heavy rain and wind all across most of Missouri. And then, you know, winds go this way around hurricanes. So in Kentucky, in Louisville, as the storm went by, they had wind gusts to like 80 miles per hour.
Wow.
So really intense event.
What's the favorite thing? Your favorite thing you've seen about meteorology? You witness anything cool? Any cool storms?
I always like to look in the past storms,
Oh, that's cool.
like
Like me.
Katrina and stuff like that.
So historical storms. You might not have been around for some of these storms, but you think they're pretty cool, huh? I agree.
I've been through. I lived in Texas when Katrina came.
Oh wow. So you're not one of those people that will go into bed and cover up under the covers and there's lightning and stuff. You're outside, right?
No.
You shouldn't be outside.
Not when
It's
lightning
dangerous.
is. Not when lightning is.
Right. That's pretty cool. Well, you excited to go see SLU-TV and everything? All right, let's do it.
Hurricanes. And so anytime it's hurricane season, he gets on the Weather Channel again and he watches it. And, you know, like you said before, he gets his maps out and he takes like coins or playing cards and, you know, lay it out wherever it is. And then he moves the coins and the playing cards in the direction of where the hurricane's supposed to go.
Again, that was Logan at O'Neill Hall with the meteorology department. And our own David Keller, SLU-TV's chief meteorologist, also took Logan around our spacious studios here at SLU. And Logan got to run some screen.
For Monday, it will be 58 degrees. It will be partly cloudy on Monday, though the temperature is pretty seasonable for now. The winds will be south, 8 to 14 miles per hour.
Look at the camera too when you're talking.
For Tuesday, it will be 56 degrees. It will be partly cloudy in the area. It will be cool for the temperatures for now. The winds will be north 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for the 5-day forecast.
4 days.
It is? Oh, it is.
Move over.
Switch over.
The other way. There you go.
For Monday, it will be 58, partly cloudy. And on Wednesday, it will be 55 with a chance of rain overnight, 50%. And Thursday's high will be surprisingly 45, which will be below normal for now.
Okay, wrap it up. Now what do you say?
I don't know.
Now on to sports.
Now to sports. Whatever we do next.
Logan Howard signing off.
That was an awesome segment. Logan is such a great kid. Joining us now, though, is Willie McKenna, our senior sports analyst, with some sports talk. Hi, Willie. How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing, Mark?
Doing well. What's going on with the men's basketball team?
Yes, we had our first game here this past Friday evening at the Chaffetz Arena. First home game, big packed crowd, and unfortunately the Billikens came out a little flat early on, and they were not able to recover as they ended up losing that game by 2 points after regaining an 8-point lead in the midpoint of the second period.
What does that lose mean for the rest of the season? Does Billikens, still looking at a good season, or does that show that this team's not that great?
You know, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to expect much of an NIT championship or anything of an NCAA championship this year. It looks like we're reverting back to a regrowing year right now. They're dominating right now against Rockhurst, and they're going to pull out a win there. But the biggest thing is the fans need to continue to come out, continue to support this team, because they're an exciting team to watch, even if they might not be in championship play by the end of the season.
And depending on the game, you can hear Willie's voice on K-SLU.
Absolutely.
Check that out. That's a lot of fun. You'll see some footage from that game, some exclusive footage coming up here in a second with Lyle's Corner. Let's talk Blues hockey. We have had some injuries, Willie.
Wow. The injury bug has definitely plagued this Blues team, and the Blues have now lost 3 in a row to the Predators, the Blue Jackets, and they're currently losing right now to the Avalanche. So the Blues are definitely hitting a rough streak right now, and their biggest loss is TJ Oshie. Broken ankle. He'll be out for 3 months.
Sure. When in Rome, I guess, right? Well, I don't know if that makes sense. The Rams lost too, though, on Sunday. Just, I was just so disappointed, and I still think they're going to win next week. I know it's going to be a hard game coming this Sunday, but I still think the Rams have showed quite a great effort here this season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that, this was no doubt one of the toughest losses of the season in overtime. This one and the Tampa loss, 2 worst losses of the season by far. Really a tough one to swallow. But coming back home, playing Atlanta's 7-2 right now. Really a good team. But the way that the Rams have played at home, having one of the best defenses at home in the league. So I definitely think that they're going to be competitive with Atlanta, and that one could come down to the wire as well.
We'll have to see what the odds are out of Vegas coming up here in a little bit. Well, thank you, Willie, for being here. I really appreciate it. And now it's time for Lyle's Corner.
Whoa, it's Lyle's Corner, boys and girls, come on down. You'll learn about cool things around the town. It's Lyle's Corner!
Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Zinn. I'm with Lyle Wilson, of course, of Lyle's Corner. We are heading to the Chaffetz Arena for the Billikens basketball game this evening. We will be giving you some cool footage from inside that arena. Join us!
This is the Chaffetz Arena.
10,000 seats.
10,000 seats for the Billikens.
4 Jumbotrons.
Home opener, non-exhibition game.
1 unique facility.
Against Austin Pay. That's a big B, that's a big Billiken. And that is a big SLU.
Do you think we can go on that? I think the best part is we still made it in time for the free pizza. Oh, horn cut me off. Free pizza!
I'd like to see some more thrusting out there.
Oh, crazy! Woo! What do you want to say, Lyle?
Whatever you want. I'll edit it, don't worry.
I have a joke. It's a Halloween joke.
Tell.
Why didn't the boy ghost, why couldn't he have any baby boys?
Why didn't the boy have any baby boys?
No. Why didn't the boy ghost have any baby boy ghosts? Because he had a Halloweenie.
I don't think size has anything to do with it.
It's Halloween.
Part of being a Billikens fan, Red Panda. I love Red Panda. When I saw that she was put her for halftime, I lost. I don't care who win or lose this game. But if Red Panda gets more than 16 bullets on her head, I'm going to lose it and name my first child Red Panda Duras. No, you can't do that, Amanda. No, not free. Think of the children, Red Panda. Think of them. You can't do this. It's dangerous. She just will never be able to do it. Yeah, and Rome was built in a day also, Red Panda.
Pure concentration right there. Pure concentration.
tubas move, Lyle. Look at those tubas move. I mean, if my tubas moved like that. Born and raised in South Detroit. Summer, winter. Nope.
Nope, not yet.
That's not yet. Nobody knows. I don't know. And I don't know if they're nominated for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're not getting in. Not getting in. It's all Neil Diamond, baby. Neil Diamond, 2011. Woman, you make me sing like a guitar humming. Hang on to me, girl. The song keeps running on. Ready? Play it now. Play it now. Play it now, my baby. All right. Yeah, you know, we wanted to get your reaction to the game, John. What did you think?
Mark, I can't express my anger on camera right now. It's not a good thing. No, you gotta put the camera away.
You know, Lyle, that was a tough loss. You know, as you get back to your, you know, medium security prison, as we call your apartment complex.
Minimum security.
What did you think about that game tonight?
Well, you know, it was disappointing to lose. We showed some weaknesses on defense a little bit. Offense was a little sloppy at times. But overall, I mean, we're a young team still, once again. And, I think we did what we could to rectify the situation and the score at hand. So, you know, overall, I'm proud of the boys. I'm proud especially of Kyle Cassidy.
Yeah, Casey.
He had a really good game.
He did.
He had a good
Kyle
game.
Cassidy had a great
His hair
game.
looked good.
Hey, P.S.
His hair looked good.
Kyle Cassidy, if you see this,
Oh, yeah. Let the choir sing. Like a midnight sound, I can hear you cry. Just like a friend, I wanna take you there. Like a child. Crackling Rosie, get on board. We gonna ride till there ain't no more to go. Taking it slow. Lord, don't you know?
It's Lyle's Corner!
Believe it or not, the views on Lyle's Corner don't necessarily reflect those of Mondays in Midtown or the university. Our Father Biondi! It's now time for the Spotlight on St. Louis. Wow, great work there, Amanda Huntingford, with that piece, our own producer and director. Well, folks, we still have 2 tote bags left in last week's tote bag giveaway. We have a few fans that wrote in, and we have those emails for you here. And what I've done, I've upped it, like I usually do, and I've autographed with a special message to each one of these patrons of our show. And there's 2 tote bags left, so please email us at mondaysinmidtown@gmail.com. That's mondaysinmidtown mondaysandmidtown@gmail.com. Let's first read one from Dave Offenberg, writing into us from Morrison Woods, Missouri, which is a smaller municipality in central St. Louis County. Mark, well done on the show. I'm hot on the market for a tote bag, so I hope this cracks the first 3 emails. Quick suggestion, you think you could try and score an interview with the voice of the Billikens, Bob Ramsey? Of course we can. We will have that for you at some point in the next year or so. And of course, Paul Lederer wrote to us, Mark, how do you get your hair so thick and shiny? Well, we will not give away those secrets onto my hair. So again, mondaysandmidtown@gmail.com. We still have 2 tote bags left. Folks, we are just moments away. When I say moments, I mean next month, from finding out who is going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the 2011 class, that is. And as you know, as a loyal viewer of the show, that Neil Diamond has been nominated. We're going to try to at least dedicate a portion of this show, as we wrap it up, to Neil Diamond. So I want you to watch this clip, short clip, that gives you some evidence on why he should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Hey, Cracklin' Rosie, get on board. We gonna ride till there ain't no more to go. Taking it slow. Lord, don't you know? Have me a time with a poor man's lady, hitching on a twilight train. Ain't nothing here that I care to take along. Maybe a song. Sing what I want. Don't need to say please to no man, for I'm happy too. Oh, love my rosy child, you got the way to make me happy. You style, Raglan Rose, you're store-bought woman. You make me sing like a guitar humming. Hang on to me, girl, our song keeps running on. Play it now, play it now, play it now, my baby. Cracklin' Rosie, make me smile. God, if it'll last for an hour, well, that's alright, 'cause we got all night. Set the world right. Find us a dream that don't ask no questions, yeah.
Now that is one captivating Neil Diamond clip. Again, mondaysandmidtown@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for this week. You can always write to us at the address I've been giving you throughout the whole show, or you can tweet at me. You can direct tweet me at Mark J. Zinn. From all of us here at Mondays in Midtown, Taylor and Amanda, and Greg and Aaron and Courtney and everyone here, we just want to say happy birthday, Christine Patterson. Good night. Drive safely.